Welcome back to the Transfer Daily YouTube channel, and I'm bringing you another news update as we know a lot's going on at the moment in the transfer market, especially involving forwards, and we're going to start off with a forward in Christopher Nkunku. So we know he signed for Chelsea a few seasons ago, and then injuries caused him to not play a lot of football last season, but this season he has kept injury free for the most part. So obviously, Nkunku wants more football, and he's shown when he has played that he can score goals. So what is going on with him in Chelsea? And what I can say is that Chelsea do not want Christoph Nkunku to leave in January or even next summer, as they believe he is a good player and a future starter for them. So Nkunku's stance, as I've just said, is that he wants more football. And one of his former teams, PSG, hold an interest in Nkunku. So if Nkunku becomes available on the market, PSG will be there. But no approach from PSG has yet to be made to Chelsea. So due to Chelsea's stance, it's a very tough deal to get done because, as I've just said, Chelsea don't want to sell Nkunku. So an exit would have to be player-driven by Nkunku. Now, Juventus, so a big team in the transfer market, and I'm going to go through two positions for Juventus. But first of all, we're going to talk about a potential outgoing in Douglas Luiz. So Douglas Luiz, we know, signed in the summer. One of the main targets for them, Thiago Motta wanted, but it hasn't quite worked out at the moment. So there are clubs exploring a deal, and Juventus are considering a loan with an obligation to buy. So Juventus are considering that if a team makes an approach. But from what I know, no team has made an official approach yet for Douglas Luiz. But two Premier League clubs have came forward and explored a deal for Douglas Luiz. So one of them teams is Manchester City, I can tell you that. I don't know the other team, but Manchester City's stance on it is, obviously last summer there was a player on the list for them along with Lucas Paquetá and players like that. So he is a player who Manchester City like, but with a deal for Manchester City and Douglas Luiz, Man City will only move for Douglas Luiz if they miss out on other targets in the January transfer window. So at the moment, Manchester City working on deals behind the scenes. You've got Kusanov from Lens, who is up there as one of the top targets for a new centre-back in January. They're also expected to sign a midfielder, and Omar Marmoush is a player who they really like, but a deal is very tough to get done in January. So Douglas Luiz is an option if they miss out on other targets. And Manchester City will have explored a loan deal, but at the moment it's not certain if they would like to have an obligation or if that will be included in a deal. So we have to wait and see. But I'd say for Douglas Luiz, later on in the window, this could become, I've seen people linking him with Aston Villa, maybe if Villa come back. And the last thing on Douglas Luiz is that he is very open to returning to the Premier League. So let's wait and see what happens with Douglas. Now, sticking on Juventus, and Juventus are looking for a new forward in January to pair with Dusan Vlahovic. So the names who they are considering is Kolo Muani, but the Kolo Muani one is seen as one that there's many other clubs, and a move to England for Kolo Muani looks the most favourable at the moment. So we have to wait and see, because other teams pushing for Kolo Muani like Tottenham, Manchester United. So let's wait and see. Also, another name considered is Joshua Zirkzee, but with the Zirkzee one, once again, Manchester United, from what I'm told, are open to a loan with an obligation, but Joshua Zirkzee wants to fight for his place and stay at Manchester United, as I said in a video a few days ago. So one name who I am going to talk about is Nicholas Füllkrug from West Ham. He signed for West Ham in the summer, and an interest is there from Juventus, as Juventus want to sign a forward on an initial loan, so no obligation, just a loan deal. And also with Juventus, they might need help on the wages side, hence why they haven't moved for anybody like Marcus Rashford. So an initial loan with no obligation, and from what I'm told, it's a tough deal to get done with Nicholas Füllkrug and also Juventus, due to the fact as West Ham want the player. We know Füllkrug has had a tough start at West Ham this season, but the last game he did show some promise, so we have to wait and see. But what I would say with Füllkrug is it will ultimately come down to Füllkrug's decision. So if Juve make an approach for him, he could be forced by Füllkrug, the move could. But Juventus actively looking for a new forward in January. Many names considered, but them names are tough deals to get done, because as we know, other teams also looking for forwards in January. So let's wait and see. A name who I've been talking about in the last few weeks, and as I revealed a few weeks ago on a video, is that Samuel Ricci is a top target for AC Milan. We know AC Milan want a new midfielder after Benasser's future's uncertain, but they want a new midfielder, and Samuel Ricci is top of that list, as I said. And talks are advanced now on the Ricci personal terms with the player. So we know he signed a new contract at Torino, but there was an agreement in place for if any club reaches the price tag of Ricci, then Torino will not stand in his way. And Milan in the last few weeks have made significant progress on the deal to sign him next summer. So next summer, top target for AC Milan, and advanced talks on personal terms. But this is a deal that AC Milan are front runners for at the moment. So let's wait and see what happens with this. But I would expect that we will get more updates towards the end of January, and agreement on personal terms is close after Ricci is open to a departure, and despite links with Premier League clubs, a move to stay in Italy is the most likely from what I've been told. So thank you for watching the video. There's more updates on the transfer market. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.